Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my video on racism and reparations. And so let's start off with the deeper wisdom, which comes from Lao Tzu over 2,500 years ago. He said the universe is impartial, and he also said the wise are impartial. So it's not good to be a racist on any kind, on any sort. However, we all have a little bit of racism in us, or at least most of us. Some of us got more than others, and that's just the way it is. It's not really ever going to change. And if you do the fall in the way of growth, you see, principle 7, know your enemies, ego and pleasure. So ego is where racism really comes from. And but that's wisdom. Okay, that's the wisdom. And I got another piece of wisdom that my cousin said, or I've modified a little bit. I don't have a problem with race. I have a problem with stupidity. I personally don't care what race you are at all, as long as you're, again, trying to grow as a human being, trying to get along, not trying to be confrontational, causing problems for this way and that way. I don't have no problems with you because of your race per se. I have a problem with stupid. I mean, I have problems with my own race, which, like I said before, I've got at least 3 or 4 different things in me, Native American, white man, and Jew. So, okay, so let me see where I want to start with this. Oh, first I'm going to start with my own story. Since I've been on this spiritual journey, and I do have Native American in me, and, really going back and looking at what the white man had done to Indians and really thinking about it, really just pissed me off. And I wanted to really get even a little bit, but it's sort of conflicting in me because I have white man in me and I have Native American, and it's sort of, it's like the battle's within myself in a way. So, it's hard to pick one side or the other. But so anyway, in the process of having to deal with my hatred for white man for what he did to the Native Americans, really, when I tell people about falling away growth, it's not only a system to help you reach your full potential, it's a system to help you understand reality and understand why things happen and why it has happened. So, like in the Native Americans, and this took me a while to come to appreciation of this, but understanding growth, and really the universe is about growth, and it's not about good or evil. It's about growth. And I started really, and I've seen it. I've said this before in other videos, and maybe sort of got the idea that you have 2 choices in life. You can either evolve or get exploited. That's your 2 choices. Or I guess you could die, but you know what I'm saying. It's evolve or get exploited. And basically, the way I look at it, I look at the Native Americans. I look at the way they were living, and they really weren't evolving as much as the white man, and so that area had to be taken over by somebody who could get more out of it than they could. And I asked myself this question, and this is a real liberating question for any Native Americans watching. What would America be like today if the Native Americans were still in control of it? And what I think of when I look at this country, I don't think it would be where it's at today. Now, don't get me wrong, white man has done a lot of things as far as polluting the environment. He's been stupid, and he didn't listen to the Native Americans about, if you keep pissing in you keep polluting your backyard, you're eventually going to be swimming in pollution. So, but, and I look at myself, and I wouldn't have come into being if it wasn't for white men coming to American Indians and white men coming together. And really, that's really where a lot of power in my mind comes from, because a lot of the wisdom I have comes from the Native American side, and a lot of, the police mind, and this comes from the white, the quote-unquote whitey-white side, so that makes me police-minded in my spiritual endeavors. The Jew gives me insightful, pinpointing intuition. So, I wouldn't have came into being if it wasn't for this. And really, it happened because more growth was going to happen by it happening than it not happening again. I asked the question, where would America be at today if the white man never came? And it wouldn't be anything like it is today. It wouldn't have evolved, and all the things that have happened through America's inventiveness and whatnot wouldn't have happened. So it's actually a good thing. And now that I'm at this point in my journey, I have no need to get even with anybody, and there's no reparations needed to the I mean, if anybody needs reparations, it's the Native Americans. However, I'm not disappointed, because I know what it's really about. It's about growth. But this video really started because I was watching a video with some black guys talking about it and, thinking they need reparations. Let me start off with another story. I was at the park with my buddy, and he brought one of his buddies with him. He's a black guy. And he started talking about reparations. He said he didn't realize who he's talking to. He thought he was talking to some white guy who could intimidate him into getting what he wanted. He said, do you think the blacks should get reparations? I said, hell no. I said, I think if you got a Native American in here, you need to get the fuck out of my country. That's what I think. I don't give a shit who you are. You know what I'm saying? So he realized he wasn't talking to some white person and get scared. So I thought that was sort of funny. Here's my point. And again, I'm not trying to piss you off if you're black or African American, whatever the hell you want to be called. It don't matter to me. You know who we're talking to. This might piss you off, but you need to listen to what I'm saying, because it will help you free yourself from the hatred of white men having your ancestors as slaves. Let me first tell you about Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg was all the pro-black and all this stuff, and then she went to Africa to see her people, and she got there and she had a revelation when she got back to Africa. She realized if she was still in Africa, she wouldn't be better off than she is where she's at today. So she realized she was in America and she was better off because she was here. So here's my point to you. Ask yourself this question. Where would I be at today if white man didn't come and enslave my people? He didn't enslave all of them, because there's still plenty of blacks in Africa. So ask that question again. I'm not asking you this to piss you off. I'm giving you the question, which again is Principle 5, question everything. I'm giving you the question to come to peace, which is Principle 8, seek harmony and peace. I freed myself from what the Native Americans suffered, and I'm giving you the same question and the same wisdom to help you free yourself from what white man did to your race. So, again, it's not about getting even, because what is even? Even is know your enemies, ego. So, anyway, that's. I just want to say that because I knew that it freed me, and I know it could free some of you that want to be free. And again, it ain't about race. It's about stupidity. Stupidity's the problem. I mean, so anyway, that's all I really have to say for now. I have more I could say, but I think it's all I should say, because I'm going to start going a little bit more emotional. So, till the next video, later, folks. And again, use this video to free your mind, not to start a big argument and confrontation thing. Till the next video, later, folks.